Hey guys, this is Zavi Wildman Hall, and in today's episode, I want to talk to you about what are my top picks for how to improve footwork. So let's give a little background. I have this background behind me right now, just showing the legs of two boxers. But in particular, any combat sport, I think what really separates the best, the great, from just the good fighters is footwork. And I would use fighters such as Muhammad Ali, Israel Adesanya, Conor McGregor. What sets them apart from the other people in their division who are almost as good as them, but they're beating still, is their footwork, their ability to have their body in the right position at the right time. You know, if you can have your feet in the right place at the right time, um, the upper body can do the rest, right? It's really easy to knock someone out if you're in the right position. The person's right in front of you where you want to be, but you're not in front of them where they want you to be. Um, so I've been thinking a lot about this lately, and so I decided to make a video about this because it's something I find really interesting, and I think it's something that's often overlooked. People work technique, they work strength and conditioning, but I think they neglect the lower half of their body. I'm certainly guilty of doing this in the past, and it's something that I'm hoping to start working on. Um, so without further ado, here's my top pick for best ways to increase your footwork. So first off, first and foremost, I have to go with jump roping. Jump roping is incredible for just increasing your overall coordination, your body movement, getting everything to move at the same time. Variations in jump roping. The key is you don't want to just jump up and down. You want to be moving side to side. You go ups, forwards, crossing your arms, squatting down, double jumping, any variation you can do, any new movement into that. It just gets your whole body in sync. And it would definitely, if you just as a person want to become more graceful, the single one best exercise I can recommend for you is start jump roping. Do it every day. They do it, 10 to 20 minutes. You can start out doing 3-minute rounds, take 1 minute off, 3 minutes. Eventually, when you build up the muscles and stamina, you can just go continuously. But yeah, practice, like I said, going forwards, backwards, side to side, crossing, double jumping, all these things, right? So some other ideas I had for how you can increase your footwork is I think anytime you can get yourself to run or like do any sport, but add an element of like some external factor that forces you to change up your body movement and still keep balanced, it's going to help you a lot. So first off, just I'll start with the most basic one that I think is really helpful is if you were to run backwards. Few people do this, but running backwards, one, it's going to be good for your knees. That's not going to put stress on your knees. Two, it just really um, forces you to be coordinated in a new way. You don't want to start building up your endurance and coordination for running backwards during the fight. If you have someone who's a pressure fighter who's really going to pressure you, you want to be able to back up and you want to be able to run sideways. So I think a really great way to do this is you get on a treadmill and then you do it at a pace you're comfortable with and you run backwards and you practice running from left side to right side, but never, or if you want to, you can spin forwards, but practice spinning around from backwards to backwards, right? And I've seen John Jones doing this once on a short video clip, him training this way. But I've tried it before and it works. I mean, it adds another movement into your repertoire, right? Um, so adding to that, what I was thinking would be really great also for increasing coordination is if you go on morning runs, specifically if you're a boxer or a combat athlete, but just in general, what happens when you add in some type of ball? What happens if you start running with a basketball and doing basketball, drills, or just running down the street, bouncing the ball, Start once you get comfortable, bounce between your feet. it's going to be a completely different movement, and I think that's going to help you a lot with fighting, just and with that, I would recommend just doing any type of basketball handling drills, bouncing the feet, ball between your feet, um, passing around above and below you around the world. Um, I think you can do the same thing with soccer balls. I think if you practice dribbling with a soccer ball, to go on a run with a soccer ball, that's really gonna increase your coordination, because with a soccer ball, you're essentially at any given time when you're tapping the ball, you're running on one foot. If you ever look at soccer players or football players, they have really huge calves. Why is that? Well, one, because they're constantly pivoting and changing direction. And two, is because if you look at the movement, if you're dribbling a soccer ball or kicking a soccer ball, you're constantly going to one leg. All your weight's going out to one leg. So that requires a thicker calf, just for more strength and stability. Um, so any type of ball handling, dribbling drills for soccer slash football. Football, as it's called in the rest of the world, soccer in the United States. I think that's really great for coordination. That develops another set of moves you can add to the repertoire. Also adding to this, one second. Yeah. Uh, Allergies, man. And so adding to this, I think it's either like a tennis ball or a handball, a slightly different size ball, it'd be a slightly different movement. Go on runs with that as well. Um, and so these are a couple ways I think you can really, really increase your footwork. Yeah. And another way I'm gonna add to the list is any type of dancing. Uh, Now I've heard that ballet is just great for everything, and great for increasing strength, balance, flexibility, injury prevention. I've personally never tried ballet. I would love to try it one day. I have never had the opportunity. I have not tried it. Um, but when I look at ballet, to me, one, it really stresses the good posture, right? So it's kind of almost, I feel like it's like yoga, where it's just kind of like stretching your body out into the correct positions. And then also, a lot of these movements have you stretching your arms and legs out. And I have to imagine that this really increases your end of range motion, right? Like your strength out here, not in here, but out here. Because I've heard from several people that they knew ballet dancers, both male and female, that they're actually quite strong. So, ballet as one form of dancing, I would actually recommend it for athlete to consider it seriously. You might have to swallow your pride putting the tights on and all that, but still just consider it. It might be something worthwhile that can give you an advantage, right? Um, Hip hop dance. Now, hip hop dance is really fun. Um, and like any type of dancing like that, hell, tap dancing, all this is going to increase your footwork. And I look at someone like Conor McGregor, who did all the movement coaching with Ido Portal, and basically what Ido Portal was trying to get Conor and his teammates to do is just to move in new ways that they weren't used to move in kind of awkward ways, just to stimulate the body, to basically develop coordination and strength in unusual ways. And I really believe that this is one of Connor's secrets to success. When he had that great run of wins, um, one, I think he was just like really loose from all that training, right? And then also, he was just his movements were less predictable to the opponent. He wasn't doing the textbook boxing movements or textbook uh whatever martial art you want to pick, right? Like the boxing is the sweet science, but there's definitely a methodology to most of it, right? Like most boxers are going to teach you, have your less dominant leg forward, right? Have the hands up, you're moving this way, right? uh And you look at Conor McGregor, and he's doing all sorts of weird stuff, kind of, like moving his hips in weird ways. Like you always see him, he'd always be doing this thing, right? I don't know if you've ever tried it, but if you try, I tried it out just for fun after I saw him doing it. What it does is it really opens up your chest. It kind of loosens up your whole upper body. Well, that's like really important when you're bam, just trying to whip a punch around, right? So yeah. Anyway, the point is, when he was doing the movement trading with Ido Portal, um, they're doing a lot of, in addition to a lot of like gymnastics and kind of rolling around and all stuff. They're doing all sorts of footwork drills, and um, so that's highly important too. And yeah, and I would stress not just for footwork, but for anything. I think anytime you learn a new movement or anything new, it stimulates brain growth, right? It stimulates new nerve connections, and that kind of I believe that passes over to other aspects of your life in the same way that if you're lifting weights and you're working legs today and you're working back tomorrow. Um, Even though you might be only working legs today, increased testosterone and HGH, human growth hormone, all this stuff, that gets into the bloodstream. That spreads to the other muscles and parts of the body as well. And I believe learning and increase learning anything like a new skill, new movement, reading a new book, new language, like a new anything, right? um, Stimulates the brain to be more active, to be learning, and it increases your ability, brain's ability to cognitive ability to think and to learn other things. It gets your brain more active. So, yeah, definitely for footwork, um, you know, definitely take time to work on it, improve on it. And a lot of the suggestions I made in this video, I've thought up. I'll probably be making a follow-up video once I start doing this. My goal is to do footwork drills or footwork sessions at least 4 to 5 times a week. So that means I didn't want to give up my morning runs. So my thinking is, okay, how can I combine my morning runs with increased coordination, increased footwork? So that's where I'm probably going to do a running cycle where one day a week, at least one day a week, I'm doing jump roping. But then, maybe there's 3 runs a morning or 3 runs a week where, maybe it's like I do a rotating cycle, like one morning with a basketball, one morning with a soccer ball, one morning with a tennis or handball, one morning with nothing at all, one morning running backwards, and then, maybe working a long run once a week. And just kind of have it going through the list. So maybe I'm not hitting every one of those each week, but then the next week I get to it, right? And just constantly be challenging myself. So yeah, that those are some of the ideas, ways that or anyone else could increase your footwork. Let me know what you think in the comments if you have any suggestions. But until the next time, I'm Zavi Wildman Hall, and you guys keep up the good fight.